Hi guys, welcome back to Podcast. So for today's video, I will be doing something a little bit different. And well, as you can see on the thumbnail, I don't have any true scale model or a mini scale to review today in this video, but instead I have these 5 cars from Hot Wheels. The premium one, the Hot Wheels Premium from the Vintage Racing Wave or the set, Vintage Racing sets. And we have 5 models right here with the starting from the number 2, 3, 4, and 5. With the star, I think you guys probably already know the Ferrari 250 GTO. And I will be doing an unboxing and maybe take a bit of close look on each model, the details, and some interesting parts that I like to show you guys. But yeah, this is very different because I think this would be my first review and unboxing Hot Wheels Premium on this channel, because I don't know, I'm just very excited about these sets because there are, I mean, all of this model, these 5 cars, is very interesting to me, especially the Gulf Porsche 917, the Lancia Alitalia, the Stratos, and then my favorite, maybe it's not everyone's favorite, but it is my favorite, the Greenwood Corvette. Is It's one of my most favorite castings from Hot Wheels. I remember from 2014 or 15 when they released the Super Treasure Hunt in the brown or bronze color. And from the time, I instantly fell in love with the casting with the Greenwood Corvette. And since that, I I'm just I just like this model very much. Like the the stance, the fitment, the shape, the wide body, the goofy headlights. Look at it. I mean, like it's very hideous to see a Corvette with this such a huge headlights at the front. But I love it. I love this casting, even though it doesn't really replicates the actual or the real car perfectly. But again, this is Hot Wheels. They do what they did usually, and they have a different way to kind of like make a car or make a toy car on their own way. So yeah, this is very nice for a Hot Wheels, and that's the reason that I love it. But yeah, anyway, well, let's just start to open this model, and we are going to take a closer look on each one. Starting from the front, let me put this one aside. The other 4, we are going to start by the number. So we got the first one here is the Jaguar XJS in the, I think this is one of the most iconic livery to be put on the XJS. I don't really remember which race or which year that they used this casting. I mean the livery, but as far as I can remember, this one is very iconic to the XGS. So yeah, let's just open it, and I won't be tear the blister apart because I like to keep the cards. That is one of my favorite parts about collecting Hot Wheels Premium, because the artwork itself is pretty amazing and I don't want to ruin the card. So I'm just going to use my cutter to cut away the blisters without damaging the card itself, because I like to collect them. I have a few of them back at home. So yeah, this is a very interesting series or set because they already have the Vintage Racing series a long time ago outside of the premium, and I have a few of them, including the Ford Mustang Boss, the 302, which is very cool. And then they kind of like redo the Vintage Racing under the Hot Wheels Premium or the Hot Wheels Car Culture sets, and they bringing the series back to the on this year. So yeah, it's very exciting to see the series back. Anyway, let's see the first model. So this is the Jaguar XJS, And yeah, this is a very nicely done casting for a Hot Wheels. Now, let's be fair, I'm not going to put my mini scale or true scale model glasses here. I'm not going to judge Hot Wheels based on the actual car or the details that may be comparable to a true scale miniatures. I'm not going to do that because they have a different ways of designing or making model cars. So yeah, let's just see these as a Hot Wheels and how they are improving through the years. And to be honest, this is a really nicely done Hot Wheels. You can see the details on the front with the headlights and with the stripes for the headlights, really nice. And then the Jaguar number 10 with the livery that is very iconic to the Jaguar XJS itself. You got the Jaguar logo right there on the fender and the number 10 Jaguar. And then on the back, we got to see a very detailed rear part of the model with the Jaguar emblem at the center with the XJS, the V12. The taillights itself is very nice. It's not just only a red color, it has some shadings. It has orange part on the bottom. It's really nice. And yeah, on the bottom, obviously every car culture or premium Hot Wheels has a metal base, so this is really nice. Jaguar XJS Thailand 2026. So apparently this is a new model or maybe a new tooling because this one said 2026. Maybe they changed to metal base or a new casting. I don't really follow what this casting, but yeah, it is nice. And also they use, I think this one is a new wheels. It's not their usual aero style wheels that they used on a few models. This one has a wider aero style or the wider cover for the wheels. I think this one is new and it's really nice. It has this thin rubber on it and they look great on this model. I really liked it. It's really nice. So yeah, this is the model number 1, and then we are going to move on to model number 2, which is the Porsche 917K. So let's just open it. Now, if I remember correctly, that Hot Wheels already have their Porsche 917 model or castings, but then this one is a new redesign or retooled casting from Ron because he thought that the older casting has kind of like not quite capture the stance or the silhouette or the fitment or the look of a Porsche 917. So Ron took it on his own hand and redesigned the model, which is appeared on the Vintage Racing this year. So this is a completely new toolings for the Hot Wheels Porsche 917K. This is the short one. And yeah, there are a few differences between this one and the older one, especially if you look at the front. This one now has the sample printed headlights, while the older one has a plastic one. But then if you look at the side, the older one has a very goofy stance or fitment, whereas this model, the newer tooling, has a much better fitment. So you can see we have the front wheels smaller than the rear one. It makes a great stance or a perfect stance compared to the older one. And then yeah, this one looks better. It has a much better proportion, much better fitment, much better wheels. The details are in, well, although they don't have the plastic headlights anymore, but I think the headlights detail is pretty amazing too with this design or the artwork right here done by the designing team. And then yeah, we got the details of number 20, the Golf. Obviously this is the Golf livery, the Gulf Porsche, the details for the engine right here on the back. Another Gulf number 20. On the back, you can see the Gulf Porsche with the taillights right here and a few details underneath where the tires right there and the engine. And on the bottom, you could see that this is also the 2026 Mattel, so this is obviously a new toolings. And the Porsche 917K made in Thailand. Yeah, I think this is a really great, it's really nice model, and I do hope that maybe Ron or the Hot Wheels team would release another number apart from the number 20, like maybe number 21 and the other race car, like the Trio Golf race car from the 70s, and then maybe they would re-release the Salzburg, which is already they already done it in the older Circuit Legends, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it will be great to see the Salzburg livery on the newer casting like this. This is a really nicely done Porsche 917K. So yeah, let's move on to the third model right here. And that is my favorite model, the Greenwood Corvette, which I've already spoke about earlier about why I love this casting. So let's just open it. Yeah, again, this casting might not be everyone's favorite. Like, not many like this model. It's very goofy. It's not Ferrari. It's not Ford. It doesn't have kind of like the Le Mans influence, the winning Le Mans influence, like the Ferrari or the Ford GTs. But yeah, this model, it's still really exciting to me to see. Like, let me put it, the card. You see this? This is a really nicely done model for a Hot Wheels. Like, the shape is really, really interesting to see. Well, at least for me, because look at it. Like, it's long. It's very thin. It's slender, but it has this wide front and the wide back. But at the center, the door itself, the cockpit itself, is very small. Right there, you can see that. And then there is this widely comically large headlights right there. It's very goofy to see this. Like, it's very funny. Like that one little fish, the guppy, I think, or the mudskipper. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mudskipper fish with these big eyes. It's very funny, but I like this model. I really liked it. And then yeah. This one, I think it kind of like make some kind of like tribute livery to the actual number 50 car, even though if you compare it side by side between the Hot Wheels and the actual car, they have a very distinctive difference. It's not really really the same car. Like, the actual car have the headlights closed, is not open like this with the plastic parts. And then the font of the number 50 is different, and obviously the sponsors is different too than the actual car. So yeah, it's not really a replica of the real car, but it kind of like a tribute or inspired by the actual car. And to be honest, it's still nice. It's still a nice model. Again, the front, Holly sponsors, Chevrolet number 50, the BF Goodrich, and this one, what is this? I don't really know. The Chevrolet, the taillights of the Corvette, and yeah, that is pretty much it about the this model. Is pretty bland, isn't it? It doesn't have many liveries, it doesn't have many sponsors, but yeah, I really like this model of all the other four. And then yeah, 2012 Mattel. This one is an old castings. Think this is the same casting with the older vintage racing one, the white one, which is pretty hard to find nowadays. It's made in Thailand. The wheels itself is pretty cool. Also, it really screams the actual classic American muscles. The 5 spokes, the two-tone with the chrome lipped and the bronze or the brown colors for the face or the spokes. Yeah, this is a really nice model. I really liked it. And then yeah, we are going to move on to the star of the wave or the set for most of us, which is yeah, obviously the Ferrari 250 GTO, because everybody's been crazy about it since the first release with the transporter in the red color. And yeah, that one has gone up much in price because obviously it's a classic Ferrari, it's in red, and yeah, it's Ferrari. So yeah, everyone's going to look after it, especially with the transporter. It makes it pretty harder to find because this one, when you buy a premium car, the car culture, a few selected models you can get for like a Japan solid case, which is like you have 10 pieces of the same model of the same Ferrari 250 GTO, and that is what exactly happened a few days ago here in Indonesia, because we have a lot of these Ferraris for sale at a very low price, because the stocks keeps on coming from the Japan solid case. And yeah, it's pretty like I'm very glad that they sold it for a much lower price than the aftermarket one, because I'm able to get this one and to be able to review and take a photo. But then at the same time, it kind of like makes it maybe less valuable to the other collectors who kind of like want to scalp or want to keep the model and wait for 2 to 3 years to for the models to go up in price. But yeah, honestly, I don't really care about that side of the hobby, because I just want to appreciate, I just want to enjoy, I just want to see the details of each models. And yeah, I'm glad because this one has the I bought it at much lower price. So yeah, here we are. We are going to open it. Again, I don't want to ruin the card because I love the designs of the card from the car culture or the premium lines. For whoever designed the card or the artwork, you are the best. This is a really nicely done artwork for the car culture, especially this one, the vintage racing. And yeah, this is the Ferrari. I might have damaged the card a little bit right here. So yeah, but it doesn't really see from afar, so I kind of like get away with that. And then yeah, this is the 250 GTO in white, in contrast with the first release, which is in red, and this one is in white. And I think we can see the details much better in this color. Obviously, the first one to notice is the face of this model, which is a really detailed one, especially with those prancing horse logo at the grill, the headlights details, the air intakes details in here, the number 10, the Ferrari logo at the hood is really nice. And then number 10, another details right here, the black accents on the grill, on the back. And then for the rear parts, we got the taillights right here, nicely done with the California plates right there, nicely done too. And then now this is the thing that I'm very impressed or very excited about this model, because you see usually that Hot Wheels make the exhaust pipes as a one cast to the base. Like if you get the base in black like this one, then you would have the exhaust pipes painted in black too. But if you look at this model right here, the exhaust pipes itself has a different parts from the base. So yeah, it is another parts that the factory need to do to put the exhaust pipes instead of just using the base itself. So yeah, this is a really nicely done attention to details from Hot Wheels and the designer team to put the exhaust pipes as a separate parts from the base, because they want to make the finishing or the look of the exhaust pipes similar to the actual car with the chrome finish, and I think that is really nice. Also with the also with the stance of the 250 GTO with the, well, the actual car have a much thicker rear wheels, but then Hot Wheels can't do that. They have to stick with the either the same size of wheels or the goofy, the front the smaller one and the rear one is the bigger one, like the older 250 GTO releases. But then they kind of like think of it that this way, like they make the front wheels like have this gap right here with the fender. Take a look at this gap right here, and then they kind of like make the gap a bit bigger on the back, just so that when you put the same wheels, but they will eventually have a different ride height or different stance, so that kind of like makes the car have a much better fitment, a much better stance, with the difference of the fender gap right there. It's bigger on the back, and I think that is the small things that I really like to talk about the details, about the attention to details from the designers of this model. Even though it's just a toy car, like it's for kids, it's not really for adults. I think like Hot Wheels, like they don't really pay attention too much to details, but this part right here is really interesting to me personally, because they kind of like a thing ahead of this part right here is really nice. So yeah, this is the fourth model, and then the last one is the Lancia Stratos. So yeah, this is the last model, and if I'm not mistaken, like this particular number one Alitalia is the winner number or the winner car in Rally Sanremo, if I'm not mistaken. Like I have the Kyosho and I have the CMS Rally in 1/64 scale in this exact same number of the car. So yeah, I think they tried to replicate or make a tribute to that winning car for the vintage racing Lancia Stratos, and it's really nice. So let's just open the model itself, and we are going to take a much better look at the details of the model. But for now, I'm just going to open my last vintage racing blister right here. Wait, okay, we're done. This is the last model. This is the card. Put it aside and let's zoom into the model. So this is the Lancia Stratos, and I think this casting has been released a couple times before the vintage racing, and I think this is a really nicely done casting from Hot Wheels. With the Lancia, they got the proportions right, they got the details and the silhouette right. They have the same wheels again in this model. That is really nice. And the details itself, I think this one has the most livery details compared to the other four, because this one has a much more complex details with the Alitalia stripings right there, and obviously the Lancia logo right there on the front hood and the behind the pop-up headlights. Then the Rally El Segundo, it's they maybe they don't have, yeah, they obviously don't have the license for the actual Rally logo, but they put the Rally El Segundo in their model. And then the HF for the high fidelity Lancia, number one Lancia, the stripings, the yellow 5-spoke wheels, it really matches the actual car. And then the rear one is Lancia Stratos on the ducktail, and the taillight's really nice. And then the interior, obviously just a painted black plastic. Then we are going to see the undercarriage of this model, the base Lancia Stratos 2014 Mattel. Yeah, so this is a really old casting from the 2014-2015, but it is a really nicely done model, the Lancia Stratos. The shape is, I think this one is perfect for a Hot Wheels. They got the proportions really nice. So yeah, this is the fifth model from the set, from the vintage racing set. So I'm gonna put the cart right here as the background, and then I'm going to take out the models, all of them, the 5 models, back here at the front of the camera. So yeah, this is the number 1, the Jaguar XJS, put it right here. And then we got the Porsche 917K, put it right here. And then the Greenwood Corvette, the center. Then this one is the last one. So yeah, think that's about it for this video. So yeah, this is a really nice set of vintage racing, and I love all of this model. And one of my favorite, obviously I've already said on the video, it's the Greenwood Corvette. But yeah, I love them all. I love them all. I love them all. They all have their own charm about the vintage racing theme here. And I do really hope that maybe Ron itself or the Hot Wheels team would continue to make the vintage racing into the Series 2 or Series 3 with the other racing cars that they have. Maybe the Ford Mustang Boss, they could bring it back from the older vintage racing series, or maybe a Porsche 935. Well, I'm just gonna put the models out there, like Porsche 935, the Moby Dick, the 78, or maybe the 76. And then yeah, what else? The Hot Wheels have so much vintage racing cars in their lineup, so I do really hope that they continue to make the vintage racing in the future. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video, guys, and thank you guys for watching my first Hot Wheels premium review here on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video back with the 3 scale or the mini scale. Okay, bye.